you ready for this?
Gonna be fun.
You will not stand in my way.
Frostborn. Hunger. This pleases me.
I do not fear you, mortal.
Your soul shall be mine.
Don't make me laugh.
Needs a brew? Oh, I do. Feel a shredding, baby. Let the battle begin.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Shut up, guys. Oh, wait, time
Ooh.
out. Why is my screen, why are the cameras, I did this, there you go, boom, there we are. Hello everyone and welcome to the 88th episode of the Nexus Trolls podcast. I'm your host, along with these other two lovely, beautiful men. They are also your hosts. I'm Goon, and as always, I'm joined by Armus and Soken. What's going on, guys?
Yo.
Hey,
So-
how's it going, everybody?
Sorry about that. Like we were just having a conversation. Like they were just having a conversation. I'm like, wait, the bumper's playing. We're about to get into it. But how you guys been? Armus, how was your week? Your weekend?
Ooh, busy weekend. Definitely messed up my neck. I think I pulled something sleeping. The adventurer I am. So we're a little stiff today, but we're ready to go.
Right on. What about you, Soken? What's up with you?
I had a pretty good week. Other than some personal stuff going on, I basically went to Disneyland on Monday, so that was cool with one of my best friends. Haven't seen him in a while. And then after that, I was lucky enough to get a Blizzard campus tour.
Oh.
So I got to hang out at Blizzard HQ for a little bit. That was pretty sick.
Wait. How'd you get that? How'd you do that? This is just.
I have so my best friend Joel, he's friends with.
Oh, I see how it is. We're not your best friends. Okay.
He's friends with Tanya Huang, and so shout out to her. Thank you so much. She gave us a tour around the campus, and she actually works on Heroes.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, and I also got to meet Lana. So hi Lana, and overall really good day, really fun.
Did you get to play the new hero? I'm just kidding.
I wish.
That's awesome.
I didn't see anything. There's nothing I got to see ahead of time or anything. No spoilers. And even then, I couldn't talk about it. So get off my back.
Dang.
Rough.
Top secret.
Soken's got the insider connections in the biz. all these people out there. Hang on a second, my microphone is acting crazy. But cool, yeah. This week, this past week, let's see, what did I do? Not a whole lot of anything really. Work, played some HOTS, watched HOTS, watched some professional HOTS. We'll get into that a little bit later. And did HGC and chill with Bags on Sunday evening, which is really nice. We did a VOD review. We just watched the KSV Black versus Miracle match. We just watched that, had some beers on stream, talked about books and board games and stuff like that. It's really nice. And then did trolling HGC. Been sitting in scrims, and now we're here. Streamed some Hero League, played some Hero League this week, and yeah, just enjoying life as usual. But
The dream.
yeah, living the dream. But anyways, before we get on with the show, I do want to mention our patreon.com/trollsgg. The trolls.gg is shared with the Nexus Trolls and the Trolls GG content creators. That involves Troll and HGC podcasts and the writers that we have there as well. The whole website, the Patreon supports everyone there. If you're interested in the show, you like what we do here, if you like any of the other shows, or if you like any of the articles, any of the other content that people put out, feel free to go to patreon.com and show your support. We've got some tiers there. We're working on updating a couple of them, but actually, some of them should already be updated, but if you go there to patreon.com/trollsgg, you'll be able to see them. So go do it. Go check it out. Also, we did reach our coaching tier, so Armus and I are gonna be doing some. We're gonna get in touch with the war chiefs here this weekend, beginning next week, and start setting up those replays, which will be streamed as well on this channel, the Trolls.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Twitch.tv/TrollsGG. Yeah.
Shout out to the War Chiefs for that. I'm really excited to work with you guys. Hopefully you enjoy what we got to give you.
Yeah, maybe you guys can use some of the strats in Bush League.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool. And with that being said, let's mention our troll of the week this week. That is not the bumper. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? And now for the troll of the week. Troll of the week this week goes to LDAP. LDAP. Some of you guys may know who he is. For those that don't, he is a community member for within Trolls, the Trolls Network, as well as just Heroes of the Storm in general. He does a weekly podcast roundup of all the podcasts surrounding Heroes of the Storm. That's Troll and HGC, the Nexus Trolls, Gank Bush Squad, Into the Nexus, everybody. He does a big post on Reddit, posts it up there, kind of gives a brief summary of the podcast, of the episodes, and and that actually helps us, helps everyone else out, and that's really awesome of him. I'm happy that there's somebody out there like him that goes out doing that stuff. So shout outs to you, my man. Thanks for that. All right, let's get into some news.
Someday, this will make a great story.
Just a couple recap stuff here. Blizzard AMA. There's a couple more AMAs coming on Reddit. The rank play changes and matchmaking AMA starts not next week, but the week after on the 6th of August. So that's going to be a spicy one. That's the one I'm going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, same.
And then on September 10th, there's going to be hero balance and design. Another one that will be interesting, I think, but I'm not going to be refreshing the Reddit threads, trying to get answers and stuff like that. I'll be catching the that one long Reddit post that has all the answers for everything or whatever that people usually do.
Yeah, the overviews.
The overview, yeah.
Yeah, the overviews are lit. Thank you so much to anyone who does that. It makes my life so easy.
What else we got? Western Clash. The HGC Western Clash starts August 10th. It's right around the corner. You can buy your tickets online. The link is in the show notes if you're interested in that. That's going to be 10th, 11th, 12th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Soken, you're going to be there, right?
I am. I am going to be, for sure, the resident troll at the event.
There you go.
I'll be hanging out. Anyone that wants to chill, if you're there, just come hang out.
Yeah, tweet it out. We'll tweet it out. We'll tell you his exact home address so you can find him and then follow him.
My exact GPS coordinates.
But yeah, he will be there. So yeah, hit him up. I might be able to make an appearance. We'll see. I'm still ironing out the details with my GF. But yeah, we're gonna be in Vegas on the 10th for a show, and Vegas isn't too far away from the location of this place that we'd be willing to drive. It's just a matter of, can we make it back on time on Sunday and not be dead for work the next day. That's my thing. Anyways, that's
Makes
TMI. And let's see, Soken, tell me about this. You got an update on a Reddit thread.
Hey, you can't be.
Hey, well, don't worry. Go, just go. You're in charge from here. Go.
Oh my God, we're coming back to that. Just so you know.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
All right. So there's something I like to call the Jellico Chronicles. Basically, last week when it was just me hosting, I gave you a kind of we talked about a Reddit thread that came up. This guy, apparently his name was Jellico, and he felt that he had been suspended or banned or whatever unrightfully, unjustly, and Blizzard never gave him an explanation. And so between then and now, basically, Blizzard had actually commented on the thread itself, giving him the reasons why he was banned, and cited specific times and games where they had actually reviewed. And so the bottom line is basically this. This is just kind of a summary of the whole thread. Well, one of the things is that we can tell from this that they're actually watching the games. So that's really nice to know that Blizzard is taking time and actually watching the games and not just automating everything. So that's good news. At the same time, there are some reasons that I've found personally that could be considered subjective for a ban, and makes me wonder, like, do these people, like, reviewing everything actually know about HOTS, or I don't know that situation. Are they just like IT people, or I don't know. So, but I'm assuming they know something about HOTS. And then Jellico, he was never actually told any of these reasons. So the comments by Blizzard, he was never actually given any of those reasons when he contacted to appeal his ban. And so that was the first time he had actually seen everything. And so he posted replays in a Discord. I think it was Insomnia's Discord, if I remember correctly. And so you can actually watch those replays yourself to determine what you think, which is interesting. Let's see what else. Yeah, I did think it was overall a bit weird that they posted a Reddit comment and didn't actually tell him, like, in person, over email, the reasons. Thought that was a bit interesting, a little weird. And just in general, I think what we can get from this is that I think there's a lot of work to be done in terms of the transparency and the visibility of the reporting system. But I think that overall it's pretty good. I think it's working as intended. I don't actually know anyone personally that was unjustifiably banned.
So I mean, they said they looked at the replays and they made their decision. Do you think they looked at the replays he posted, or they actually went back and watched him after the report?
No, they watched him after the report for sure. And
okay,
he linked the replays himself just so that people could, like, make their own decisions about that. Like, kind of, does that make sense? Like, he, in response to this Blizzard comment calling out all the replays and everything, posted his replays. So I just thought it was super interesting.
Okay.
Not anything particularly noteworthy overall, but just I think it's really a good reminder to give a PSA that, look, people don't get banned if you don't, banned for, like, toxicity and feeding and inting if you don't report them. I know there's a lot of streams I watch where they'll be like, oh, this guy's actually literally feeding. Here's, there he goes running into a fort. Oh, well, nothing we can do about it. The system is broken. And they just leave it. Like, make sure you report. If you don't report for those types of things, nothing will ever happen. And also, just obviously don't abuse the system. Only report when obviously there's an actual violation. But make sure you guys are reporting your guys or your teammates, or even in the opposite team, if they're doing something clearly violating the rules. So.
Well, hang on one second.
Yeah.
I need to AFK 1 second. I think I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Keep the audience entertained, my minions. I'll be right back.
All right. So, hey, this is the next thing. All right. We got a new coach for No Tomorrow. It's actually our own GOONHOTS. No Tomorrow is an HGC team. They're currently unsponsored. But Goon was able to try out for the coaching position that QB relinquished because he had personal issues, and so he gave up his coaching position, and now Goon is the coach. And his first game under No Tomorrow was this last weekend on Sunday, where they reverse sweeped. What was it? Octalysis? I forget who it was.
I'm back. What are we talking about?
Who did they reverse sweep? Was it Octalysis?
Wait,
No.
who?
No tomorrow.
Simplicity.
Sorry, simplicity. Not yeah. So props and grats to GOONHOTS for his new position and got their first win under your coaching this weekend. It's pretty sick.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. It was a lot of fun. A different experience, and there's an entirely different like world of Heroes of the Storm stuff that goes on that I never like really considered. Like, okay, so I mean, you use a different voice system. They record stuff. You gotta make sure that you're doing certain things, not doing beats at a certain place. Or it's interesting. But you know.
So what are the main differences between because you were the coach for the amateur team Reborn, right? So what are the differences between coaching for a team like Reborn and coaching for a team a professional team like Tomorrow?
Right off the bat, the amount of knowledge HGC level players have, it is pretty next level.
So you don't feel like you have to state the obvious for them? Is that
I do not have to state the obvious, and if I feel like I'm stating the obvious, they're just like we know that. Like, it's
that's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. However, like even the way they think about the game a little bit differently, it's pretty interesting. Like, I don't really want to get into it too much, but the way they see heroes, interactions, moves, whatever, is on a much deeper level than what the average Joe, the average person, here's the Storm player, really understands. So, you say, we rotate on Infernal Shrines. You typically, or Tomb of Spider Queen, usually rotate between two lanes, soaking the XP, turning in gems, whatever. Like, yeah, we do that. Why? Because that's just what we do, right? That's just what's best. But you ask a pro player, and they really get into it, and then they discuss like every possible scenario that could possibly happen, and then why this is probably the most effective tactic, and why another one wouldn't be.
Yeah,
it's like it's wild. I'm learning. I'm learning all the time.
It kind of the same thing exists in StarCraft, I think. So there's this idea of, you have the Masters players, then you have the GM players, and people are typically like, oh, they're GM, they must be like super good. Well, actually, that's not really, like, even GM is not that good. Like, GM is good, right? You have a solid foundation, but like then you go pro, and pro has those polishing aspects to it. Yeah. Like you're saying, right? They're super polished. Like, someone that might stutter step what you would consider good, that pro is going to be better enough to give that advantage in an actual pro game. So there's definitely differences there.
And that's not even just in the mechanics, because like the mechanics, I feel like the mechanics are what I see on high level streams that aren't pros, right? Like your GM streamers, so to speak. It's just that the way they think about the game and why they're doing things when they're doing them, that is just like, wow, okay, all right, I'm not gonna question that or like, okay, you obviously thought this out. You guys are, and these guys breathe, eat, sleep, bleed the game every day, all day, that they're able to develop that knowledge, and it really shows. It really honestly shows.
Well, it's good to know that even a team that like No Tomorrow, that is probably hated on probably the most in HGC, to be honest. that you just coaching that team can see that, because there's a lot of haters out there, and they're all going, "Oh my God, no tomorrow." They're 1-4 or something like that.
1-5 now?
Oh, they suck. Blah blah blah. It's like, no, they may quote unquote suck compared to the other teams, but they're still really good and they're still trying really hard. So
Yeah.
Props to No Tomorrow for keeping it up for that reverse sweep and everything, and hopefully you guys can continue to work on that. So that's pretty much it for that.
Cool. What else? So I know under show notes this is under Troll the Nexus, but I'm gonna put it in the news just because this particular bit of information hasn't made it into the Nexus yet. Soken. The newest hero was teased earlier this week and finally announced today. They showed an image of the hero and all that. And it is the High Inquisitor Whitemane, World of Warcraft hero. I think she's gonna be a support. Maybe they haven't said anything yet. People are just inferring she's gonna be a support based off what she did in WoW or what her class was. I don't know anything about anything when it comes to World of Warcraft or the lore or anything like that. I saw the post. I sent it to one of my best friends who is all about World of Warcraft, and he gave me. I do this every time there's a new hero, a new World of Warcraft hero. I send it to him, and he just gives me the background. But yeah, I don't know anything. But if it is a support, I'm probably gonna be playing her.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. But do you guys have any like ideas as to what she's gonna be, or what do you hope she does or doesn't do?
But you can go first, Armus, if you want. If you have any ideas.
Ooh, I really don't have any ideas. I kind of want another assassin. Like, I want like a nice like melee assassin. We haven't seen one in a while. I feel like.
Yeah, true.
It's like a meta one.
Even Medivh is not really a melee assassin. He's more like a melee mage because he bases all of his damage off of his Q. So
yeah. What was the last? Yeah. What was the last melee assassin that was released? Right.
Valera.
Yeah, Valera, is that the right?
It was a while.
No, Maiev.
It was Maiev, but
yeah.
Yeah.
It's still kind of far back.
So yeah, like, I think this is Blizzard's. My theory is that this is Blizzard's way of giving people a priest, because people have been talking about priests a lot, right? But we kind of already have supports that have come out that we just got to that was a paladin and that was a bruiser, but they kind of just gave a paladin. So I don't think that she's going to be a typical priest, like a healing priest. I think she's going to be what do they call it, a shadow form priest or something like that.
Yeah,
basically more of a damagey priest.
Interesting. Do they still have heals and stuff like that, or like what's? Is it more crowd control, or
it's like the PV? You could see it as the PvP version of a priest that was how kind of WoW did allowed their priest to go into like shadow form, and then all their stuff turned to damage. So I don't think there was really. I don't remember if there was heals or not in shadow form. Maybe somewhere in chat.
Wait, let me stop you now before the entire Reddit community comes burning down your house for this. She is not a shadow priest, according to Annalise. Disc priest. I don't know what the disc is short for. I don't know anything about WoW.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just guessing. So
her heals. Discipline priests heal their allies by damaging. Interesting.
There you go. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, still kind of along the lines of damaging, and so then I guess it's you do damage to heal your allies. That could still technically be a support, but it might also be a specialist, right? Like. It sounds like a very
I wonder if her heals, if that's the case, if they do go this route, if her heals will be meaningful or her damage will be meaningful, because she's not gonna have both. It's not gonna have both. It's not gonna happen because look at our supports that have damage right now that are considered damage dealing supports outside of Tyrande. I think she's utility, but yeah, Karazim and Rhaegar.
Yeah.
Both melee supports reliant on physical damage. They're healing, and their damage, like Kharazim's damage, ramps up in the late game, and it's best against squishier targets. You can go 7-sided strike, but if you do, what are you giving up? Healing. You don't have Divine Palm anymore, right? Rhaegar has Ancestral Heal. However, he does have one bite. That lunge burst bite puts him in a weird.
Yeah.
It puts him in potentially dangerous situations. He does have Lightning Bond, but I don't think I wouldn't consider that like groundbreaking damage by any means. And then he has the Ancestral Heal, which is like his big healing tool. But this one, maybe she'll be like a more mage style of that version, and I wonder if they'll make you split between, okay, you can focus, like kind of like Kharazim, you can focus on more damage but you're going to reduce more healing, or you can focus on more healing but reduce more damage. We'll see what she's good at, like, right? And like with Kharazim, he can put out some healing with some other talents. However, is that the best way to play him? I don't know. So I mean, yeah.
I think it'll be good. This is the thing. My worry is that Reddit, had talked about a Shadow Priest, and was like, I've been saying it forever. This isn't me. This is Reddit, right? They always baby rage when they don't get what they want, and Reddit has for a long time been like, we want a Shadow Priest, and so are they going to be satisfied with a non-Shadow Priest but still damagey priest? I don't know.
Is Reddit ever satisfied? Kappa.
Yeah.
They are?
I don't know.
No, I mean, even if they are satisfied with that, they'll find something new that they want.
Or complain about
Duo
something they
Q.
didn't think about.
Just bring back Duo Q Start up again.
Oh, God.
Oh, please no. Please
All right.
no.
Anyways, moving on from that. No, her spotlight reveal is going to happen after the first European HGC match. I'm assuming that's going to be Friday. So Friday morning around 10.
Yeah, after the first game. Oh, no. The first game is at like 9, right?
Wait, is it the first game or the first match?
I don't know for sure. I'm assuming they're not going to stop after the literally first game. Oh, you're saying that the first series will end at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m.
Yeah, the first series.
Right.
I'm sorry, series. Yeah, I should say that, not match.
Okay, all right. So the first series, which will have a winner of that series, yeah, could be like around 10 or 11 at that point.
Yeah. So I'm excited. And then she'll probably be on the PTR that following Monday, unless they do one of those like, oh, you can go now, which I highly doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played WoW when I was younger. Like WoW was my first MMO, and actually I want to say Scarlet Monastery was probably my first. I don't want to say raid. I don't know what the hell to call it. Dungeon. One of my first dungeons in WoW that I at least remember a lot about. And
wait,
so
you mean Ragefire Chasm? I don't know. Like I hear people.
I don't know. This one stuck
one.
in my head because I really liked the whole theme behind the whole dungeon, which was really awesome. You got to go through the whole monastery. You went to like this section with the Houndmaster, and he like sent his dogs after you, and then you got to kill him and all that stuff. And overall, it was just super remembering. My words right now.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, there we go. Nostalgic. It's stuck in my mind. Even to this day, I still remember a lot about that.
Yeah.
I'm not like big into WoW lore, so for me, I'm not like gonna know everything about the background, but I did do some research. And yeah, so from what obviously the biggest part of the dungeon was, you would kill. There was this guy named Mograine, and he would come out at the final boss. He would be the first one you fight, and once you down him, that's when Sally Whitemane comes out, reses him, and then they fight as a duo against you. So I have a little spicy theory based on that idea that somehow, like, I don't know how they're going to integrate it. Maybe it's her trait. Maybe it's an ultimate. Sorry about that. But she somehow calls Mograine into the battle with her. So it'll be a support with like a minion or monster that comes out with her.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Speaking of like, being able to call like a heroic that could call in people to help you, whatever. I would like to see another barbarian, Diablo barbarian, come into Heroes of the Storm with like a different build, like a Call of the Ancients build, where you call in like the ancient dudes that come fight next to you and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool. But
Ooh, it would be cool.
yeah,
I will always take more Diablo characters. I love Diablo.
you can make so many tangent here. You can make so many Diablo characters just based off of different like builds for the characters in that game. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you could have you could have a witch doctor that, I don't know, does the bears or something like that, or instead of having a zombie wall, it throws bears out at you, like dead zombie bears.
Throws bears at you.
Yeah, or the shark comes out of the ground.
The piranha one. It was
the piranha
one,
the
right?
piranha comes out of the ground,
piranhas.
and like it's like a maw or something like that. That'd be kind of cool, huh? I don't know.
Yeah, well, you definitely can, but you want to make them significant characters. Like Zul is actually a character from Diablo. I think he was the Diablo 2 necromancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was, yeah.
So he was actually from the lore. So I like that aspect of it.
I
being from the lore.
mean, Sonya is not like a character, right?
No, I know. I'm not saying you can't do it, but
Oh, okay.
but then it becomes a little weird because then it's like you're adding in all these characters and they have to kind of like fit them into the lore at some point. Like they started, like Sergeant Hammer was never a character. Lieutenant Morales was actually never a character.
Mm-hmm.
They integrated those back into the lore. Lunara wasn't even a character.
Probius is not a character. I'm gonna say that right now.
Proby is not a fucking character.
No. They said that he was the probe that called down the pylon that saved. Oh my gosh, that won the battle or whatever in the cutscene, the opening cinematic for StarCraft, Legacy of the Void. I'm not buying that.
Nah, dude.
I'm not buying that.
I'm not buying that either. Like you can only take it so far, right? You can only go so far.
Where's that Probius at? No, that pro would be a cool hero. This one doesn't do anything. I'm sorry.
I like him. I think he's a cutie, and he's one of my highest win rate heroes.
He's a cutie.
And he's one of my highest win rate heroes.
I'm at like 75% over like 150 games. Like, it's looking good. The cutie that kicks some ass. What can I say?
And Annalise is saying, "Hey, now are you giving Blizzard shit about their retconning? Their entire company is built on retcon." So that's true. I guess that's true. I've heard so many different Warcraft thing, the whole Cataclysm thing. Like, come on now, you can't just make a dwarf into a mage. Like that doesn't work. You don't do dwarves are not mages, never. I don't know if you guys ever played Dragon Age Origins. Another tangent. There was a lore reason why dwarves couldn't learn magic. They lived so many years underground, and the minerals that they would mine had like a certain like dust or chemical that interacted with their blood that negated magic use or something like that. It was pretty interesting.
So they were strong against magic though too. They were resistant to it.
Yeah, they were resistant to it. Yeah, that game. Anyways, this is.
I'm not saying it's not okay. I'm not saying it's not okay to retcon or anything. That's cool, but let's take it a little slower. Let's actually make it meaningful and not just Probius type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Or like instead of Sonya, it's Sonyo or something like that.
Sonyo.
All right. Anyways, let's move in.
Sonyo.
Let's move into trolling the Nexus. We got a lot to talk about.
We're gonna have a good time.
All right, so you talked about the new heroes and the new hero and all that. Let's talk about the biggest chunk of information that we like to talk about on this show, and that is the latest balance patch for Heroes of the Storm. The patch dropped yesterday, right? Yesterday morning.
Yesterday, yep.
I'm gonna pull it up here. I should have already done this, but a lot of stuff changed, man. A lot of stuff, and I like what I see. I like it a lot. I don't know about you guys.
This is one of my favorite patches, probably in Heroes of the Storm history.
Heroes of the Storm history. You mean to
Just
tell me?
overall, new heroes. I don't even care about the new hero patches.
Just like
better
just
than any new hero patch.
This is like just a nice balance patch. It's definitely a nice one. Better than 2.0, dude. Come on, that was the best one.
Way better than 2.0, my man. Way better.
But yeah, let's run through. There's a lot to talk about here. So first off, if you want to see the patch notes, you can look at our show notes. Also on the Battle.net launcher, if you go to HOTS, you click on the little HOTS icon or whatever up on the top, and there's a little gear. You can click that, show patch notes, and it pulls the patch notes up for the current patch. First on the list, let's start off with the assassins. First on the list is Alarak. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Alarak in there, I was like, oh my gosh.
Like, is this another rework?
What are they gonna do with this guy? Like, what's his? He just recently enough got a rework, and I feel like he's one of those heroes where if you change too much, can be really broken.
Yep.
Now I know Armus loves Alarak.
I do.
What do you think? Oh, so before I ask you what you think about this change, the only thing they changed on him was they increased his auto attack damage from 140 to 150. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't really think it does too much. I like it because he hasn't really seen much play. I mean, obviously, like, his damage outside of his combo is one of those reasons, so maybe that'll be enough to help him out a little bit. Like, doesn't seem like much at level 1, but that scales pretty hard, so for the late game, that could be a pretty big bonus to make him chunk just enough. I like where it's headed. I mean, I hope that that's like one like little short change to be like, okay, like let's see how much his basic tech influences him.
Yeah.
And then like hopefully they use that to like make other changes. Like hopefully it's just like another data point that they're collecting right now to see like how they can fix them up to see more play. But, I mean, I like that it's showing that they have their eyes on him. That they're like, hey, like this hero's interesting. Like crowds obviously like it. I know like a bunch of casters have always said they like seeing Alarak. Keep your eye on him to like pop back in the meta if they buff him a little bit and start showing his face and competitive play more.
Doesn't he have some auto attack talents? That like
he does.
That increases his auto attack damage?
Yeah, he has one, I think it's 13 or 16. I think it's 16. Where if he combos somebody like within like 3 seconds of his sadism hitting somebody, he'll have increased attack damage.
And you know, like people play him as very combo dependent. You know, like okay, yeah, a lot of his damage does come out of his combo for sure. But he's a melee assassin, right? He's a melee hero. And I've always felt like his auto attacks were always pretty good. Like they weren't like Thrall level, like relative, like if you compared it to Thrall, they weren't like Thrall or Greymane or anything like that. But they weren't necessarily anything to ignore either. He has decent attack speed. They did decent damage.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is like understanding his builds. A lot of competitive players, I mean, especially with the best examples like Rich, he played him a lot. At the mid-season brawl, and he went the lightning build each game where you take the lightning talents at 1 and 4, and then like applied force at 7, and that seemed to work so well for him. Like he was playing more off of just poking down people with his E, and then just waiting for that engage, then just using his combos like a follow-up to like counter engage on him. But I mean that E when he was stacking, it just did so much damage. So, like he really didn't need to like play off of those combos. He was just useful like everywhere on the board. And then, like, once people engage, that's when you're like, oh, wow, like, this is going to hurt.
Yeah.
I think, so my theory is that this isn't even based around team fights. So, Alarak's biggest problem and why he's almost never picked, at least, you know, first pick material type of thing as a solo laner, is that he can't wave clear. Like, he doesn't have that really great wave clear, so he just gets out wave cleared. And then Alarak is stuck just cleaning up at his tower, can't really be aggressive, unless the enemy kind of makes a mistake type of thing and he can capitalize. But I think this is aimed at wave clear. I think this is actually hopefully allowing him to clear waves a little faster so that he can be the solo lane a little easier. It's kind of my thought.
That is interesting. I know a lot of people like to consider Alarak as a solo laner. I personally do not.
I don't either.
There's a better place for me where I think he belongs, and that's in a 4-man against melee compositions, heavier melee compositions, I think, personally. Because you can punish those melees that want to they want to be aggressive to you. You can punish that, obviously, with your Discord Strike, move people around, whatever. People want to stack up, get nice ease, all that stuff. I think this, like I said, they're saying, hey, his auto attacks were pretty good. Now they're better. Now you can step up. Now you can actually, maybe you don't have to go feast or famine with these poke builds. You don't have to sit there and go feast or famine with your Discord Strike. Now maybe you can be more aggressive. You can deadly charge in and start auto attacking people. That could be a thing, like, who knows?
Maybe, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference in that aspect. I don't know. I did get owned last night by an Alarak, so I don't know if that's just because my team sucked or because because he was a lot better. But.
So I still have this like memory of an Alarak from like forever ago, probably within like the first 4 or 5 months that he was released. I still remember this. It was playing in quick match. I was playing Alarak. I was playing, you pull people in, you stack, you pull people in. At the time, the build was like a little bit different because you went talents to like made your Q better, and you just did that stuff, whatever. I was doing that, and I was going against this Alarak that was taking all these weird talents. Like this is not the meta, nobody's using this, but it was like he would be very aggressive. He would never use the pull on anybody to bring him close to him. He would kind of be sitting there, whatever, doing his thing, and you're kind of waiting for him to pull you, and your front line's kind of waiting for him to pull you. No, he would use the push on himself to bring himself closer to Discord Strike you and then just start hitting you. It was actually really cool. I was like, whoa, and he bodied us. He was so aggressive with the way he played, and we couldn't punish him. When we did decide to, like he would come in and finally finish you off with the push, he would kill you, we would turn on, he would counter strike and just chunk everybody out and then just stay in the fight. It was really like that guy, whoever you are years ago, like that Alarak has forever stuck in my, and ever since then I'm like, man, I wish Alarak played like that.
No, dude, you play like that. You play like that after that guy. Like that's what you do.
Is that what I do?
Yeah, dang. You owned me. You owned me on him with that exact play style.
So yeah, there you go. Anyways, that was a random story. But yeah, Alarak, I'm definitely interested to see what comes out of that. Phoenix, he got some nerfs. Basic attack damage was decreased. Arsenal synergy at level 1 bonus damage was decreased. And then they increased the damage bonus from his mobile offense at level 1. That's the stutter stepping talent. They increased that. So he hurts. That Arsenal synergy is pretty broken. I like the buff to mobile offense to kind of increase that kind of play style and maybe make him more aggressive, which maybe in turn makes him more punishable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys think about that one?
Do you feel like the AoE on that last hit, the last
It's so massive.
I feel like that's
So
the problem.
large.
I don't feel like the damage is the problem. I feel like the area is the problem. Do you guys agree with that, or?
You know what? Now that you bring it up, yeah, I think
both.
so.
I think it's both. I mean, I don't think the 25% damage doesn't really hurt too much. I mean, I think it needs like a small radius reduction, like you were saying, more so than the damage. I think the build's still the same, though, to answer the question in chat. I mean, I think like you could still pick Arsenal Synergy. I think mobile offense might have a spot now. Like, I'd have to play with it a little bit. I mean, I don't think the build's changed. I don't think it's like that big of a nerf. I hope he's
same.
switching builds anytime soon.
Like the thing is,
yeah.
Arsenal Synergy gives you wave clear. Like that's what you need to like mobile offense. That's the biggest problem I found with it is that it's like, okay, great, I'm stutter stepping, but it doesn't do any extra damage because that only counts to heroes.
Well, so is Arsenal Synergy. However, you can save, like you have to hit heroes to get the next charge.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but you hit them in the lane, right? You're like, you could be solo laning or whatever.
You're right, yeah.
Boop, 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 and then you use it on the wave, and it clears the wave.
Yeah.
a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people are still going to use him for the slows, for the purification salvo, the combos associated with that. We're not going to see as much Planet Cracker anymore, but we still see him with that stuff. But yeah, I think it's healthy change. Maybe bring down the radius a little bit. I honestly, I think I was okay with it even staying the same damage bonus and just changing the radius instead, just to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right, next hero, Genji. They changed his Swift Strike a little bit. The reset window. So before you would eat through somebody. If they died within 2 seconds, you'd get a reset on it. You can use it again. They changed that window from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds, and then they also reduced the damage from 215 to 205, which I think is nice. He's an opportunist. He's waiting for that moment to Swift Strike and to get the kill. A lot of times he was just Swift Striking through people because they dealt damage. It's a good ability and you can't catch him afterwards. Chunking people out. I like the playstyle where he's poking, maybe he's harassing and things like that. The backline gets a little too careless. They get a little too weak and he gets in. Boom! And then that's it. And then it just pops off from there. Then he starts going ham. I like that style better than him just being generally good and just killing everybody. But what else did they change here? They also changed his level 20. The dragon becomes me. The reset window was reduced again from 2 to 1.5. So yeah, same thing.
Dude, 2 seconds was such a long time. I felt like I could do, when I was playing Genji, I felt like I could do whatever and still get the reset. Like I could be a really bad Genji and still get it within that 2 second window.
Yeah, you can eat through them and miss your Qs, and then you could still auto them a couple of times enough for them to die. And still get the reset. Now it's like, okay, the best players are gonna mid-max everything. They're gonna hit all 3 Shingans. They're gonna hit all the auto attacks. They're gonna, or maybe they won't. Maybe they just leave them alone. Who knows?
I do think this will change the build, though. I think that not the Dragon Becomes Me, but the level 10 version of it. What's it called? Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blade.
Just Dragon Blade. Yeah. Okay. I think that will phase out, and I think X Strike is now like the almost 100% choice.
Yeah. Before you would still see some Dragon Blade, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, and there's still a place for it, but I still think X Strike is just so good for the escape, for everything else. And then now you go, I think, Q build. I don't even think you go E build anymore.
Maybe.
I think it will. I think this will significantly change his playstyle.
Time will tell. We'll see what ends up happening. The pros don't play on this patch until next week.
Yeah.
And then even then, there's not HGC going on, right? Because it's right before the clash, or the clash. But anyways,
yeah. They play on this patch at the clash.
Yes, exactly. Hanzo got some changes. I don't want to say a nerf, but he got some changes. His basic attack damage at level 0 was increased from 173 to 188. His sonic arrow, the reveal radius was reduced from 10 to 7, and then the duration was reduced from 8 to 5. I think that's a very healthy change, especially for competitive. Natural agility, his trait, the cooldown was increased from 25 to 30. I feel like this thing has bounced around so many times. And then at level 20, perfect agility, the cooldown reduction was increased from 5 to 10 seconds.
That just makes up for the level,
the flat nerf that they the developers here say Hanzo, while extremely desired and powerful in pro play, doesn't have the same success across all levels of Hero League. We think that by reducing the power of Sonic Arrow and shifting that into basic attacks, not only will Redemption be a more attractive option, but Hanzo's success should rise in Hero League without making him any more powerful in organized team play. Here's what I don't like about this. It's like, he's really good in pros, but the plebs, so to speak, aren't good with him, so we're gonna buff him, and it's just like we're gonna make this aspect weaker and then just make him stronger in general. Like, I don't get it.
Ooh.
He's just gonna be terrifying in pro play. Actually, I think now.
Yeah.
But like, okay, if your Hero League users weren't having success with him, maybe that says more about them than it does about like the hero.
Here, yeah. Tassadar Hanzo coming back at you.
Ugh,
I mean, this is the thing. So, why would you? I understand this basic attack buff. Like, I actually kind of agree with it, but I don't agree with also at the same time leaving the W damage the same. You have to. His arrows, his scatter arrow is insane, and people just go W build all the time, and it will you can one shot people, dude. It's insane.
So okay, so I see what you're saying. For pros that can land scatter arrows, I think it's a great build. However, the problem is you got a bunch of people in Hero League that are like, "Oh, this is the build. This is the build. You have to run it," and not realize that you actually have to land those scatter arrows. You want to get more than just one arrow hitting, right? You want to get all 5 when you finish the quest. I think the other talents are just as viable in Hero League. Were viable in Hero League. People didn't take them because they just look at what the pros do, but can't play to the same level as the pros. That's why we're seeing that disparity between Hero League and Pro Play. And then they made that, like, I don't like that change. If I want to go Q build in Hero League because I suck with everything else and still find success with it, I can do that. Or I don't know.
But that's why people take the build, though. It's not that they're scared to take the other builds. It's that W build. Even if you don't land your shots, you're going to get value on things like the boss or camps.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get value. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, at least.
That part's true.
I've played games because I suck at Hanzo, and I've played games where I suck, and I'm still getting value across the map. I'm fine, you know.
Yeah, I played a redemption game with just AA talent. It is insane how much damage this hero does. It's not right. It's not right. But time will tell. I'm still gonna be banning him. I ban him. The maps that I ban him on are Cursed, Infernal Shrines,
Battlefield.
Thank you.
Yep.
Those are the definitely the 3 maps for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and you do it on Infernal because of the level 4, right? The explosion on
the Q explosion. Yep.
Q. Yeah.
Q.
Yeah.
Instantly clears waves almost. You just throw a Q in there, then you just randomly W, and you'll clear 3 or 4 minions every time. Your team's just like, okay, let's not fight. Everybody go soak. Watch Hanzo win the objective like almost by himself, like killing all of them.
The new Kerrigan.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on here, Kel'Thas got a buff. Flame Strike, baseline damage at level 0. Damage was increased from 320 to 345. Guys, look, the damage got so buffed that you don't even worry about convection. You don't need it. Living Bomb explosion damage increased from 200 to 215. I like this change a lot because Kel'Thas is my favorite mage. She was my favorite mage for a very long time. I never really got into Jaina. I never got into Gul'dan. I mean, I do like Gul'dan. I want to give him more of a chance. However, I do like the pop and the way Kel'Thas feels as, like, I don't know, an ultimate badass.
I feel like he has a lot of skill. Like, I feel like Li Ming is like the top of the skill chain.
Yeah, I don't like Li Ming.
mages.
I don't like Li Ming. Ugh.
No, I know, but I'm saying I think Kel'Thas is right after that with skill. Like, if you're a good Kel'Thas, you're really good. Like, I feel like you can make it work. But if you're not, you're going to be out of position. You're going to die. There's not much that can help you with that.
Yeah. I like these changes. For me, we've been seeing a lot of Jaina in competitive play, and stuff like Li Ming. Having this Kel'Thas damage buff makes him more attractive now. You know, like, oh, maybe he didn't put out as much damage. He was too late game with his damage. Right now, you're getting more damage just up front, right off the bat at level 1. Maybe he doesn't make him as late game. Maybe he just scales even harder now, but he's still consistent and good throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah,
I like it. I don't know. What do you think, Armus?
I like the changes. I mean, I hope we see him more. I mean, I know they've reduced his body size recently too. I remember them saying like his cape's too big. I mean, I think that's like a patch that's really gonna go kind of like unheard of. But like, remember that in the back of your head. Like, that's important. That it's gonna be a little bit harder to like target and kill him, especially with things like Genji, Shingon, and stuff like that. Like his Q, like landing all those. Now that his cape's shrunk a little bit and they're buffing him, he's gonna have a little bit of an easier time moving his way back in.
Yeah, I mean, and he recently got some changes too. He got Ignite. He got some mana changes on some of his abilities and talents. Might be a time to dust off the old Kalthas.
I think this is going to be great for mid-season brawl. I'm super excited to see him picked. I think he's going to get picked.
I think so too. I think so too.
I love this. I love these patch notes, especially leading up to MSB or the clashes.
Yeah.
I thought this was actually going to be OP when I first saw the notes, but I played as him and I played an ARAM today, and I played as Kael'thas against a Kael'thas, and it felt good. Like, I truly do feel like this is enough to put him in a good place. I feel like any more than this, and he will be OP, straight up OP. But I think this is, at least for now, I think this is perfect enough.
Sounds good. I'm excited. I'm excited to play some Kael'thas. All right, next hero, Raynor. Raynor's Raider damage. The damage from the Raider was reduced from 24 to 21. Level 1 talent, Ace in the Hole, which was pretty much Executioner. The damage bonus from the slows and roots and stuns was reduced from 30 to 20%. At level 4, the Behemoth trait, Behemoth Armor, which buffed your trait. It would give him a base health gain of 250. Now that's 200. Fight or Flight, the armor duration was reduced from 4 to 3 at level 7. Unstable Compound, which is the slow on his slow around in the area that is auto attack splash, that was reduced from 3 to 2.5 seconds. And they say Raynor's pepper is bringing a bit too much salt. Very good changes. It's too easy for him to get so much value from all the slows and all the damage. I think it was too easy. For it being that easy, let's tone it down a bit. Let's tone that damage back a little bit, because a lot of times you couldn't do anything. You just had to sit there. You walk up, get chunked out, and then die, or you walk up, get chunked out, start running away, and then still die because he chased you down.
I actually don't even know that I agree with these specific nerfs, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I as someone that literally grinded Raynor and knows Raynor pretty well by now, his biggest, I don't want to say problem, but his biggest thing that makes him hard to play against is post level 13. You get giddy up at level 13, and what that does is it gives you 10% movement speed. So if you're at all out of position and Jimmy is on you, you're dead. You're just dead. There's nothing you can do. He's going to chase you down. He's going to stutter step you, and you're going to die because he's just going to follow you, inspire, trait, and the trait will just annihilate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like actually this is kind of in the wrong place. I do feel like this is okay to nerf, kind of. I think Ace in the Hole is definitely the choice, so it's okay to nerf that. But I don't know about these other ones. I do feel like the giddy up at level 13 is the biggest thing, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
But I'm still okay with it because he has a high win rate. He has a high popularity, so he's definitely needing of some kind of balance. So I think this is good, but I don't know that it's in the right place.
All right, Armus, you got anything to say about that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I like the changes. I mean, I think they're good. Like Soken said, I don't know if that's exactly the spot they should be in.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that they took his damage on his Raider down a little bit. I feel like the players who were using that like really, really well were getting way too much value out of it. Whereas the players who just were clueless would send it flying into towers and it would get no use. But I think like those players that aren't getting any use out of it and that are mad about it, like they'll figure out how to use it and be like, oh, okay, that nerf wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that happened. Then Ace in the Hole. Like so, the rest of them, I really feel like Behemoth Armor. Like I don't think that nerf's gonna do too much. I would like to see it like in other places where it would actually affect the reason why he's got such a high popularity rate. But at least they're watching out for it, because that would have been really deadly going into mid-season or going into the clashes. He would just be 100% banned, like,
yeah,
if they left him. So I'm glad they did something.
So I mean, it's been 2 weeks since his release, right? Or well, since the rework happened. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been 2 weeks. We played with him for 2 weeks. Do we think this balanced patch schedule that Blizzard is rolling with is healthy. Based off of like, do you think he was running rampant, killing, destroying everything, like causing all this mayhem, or do we feel like okay, yeah, he was pretty annoying. However, now we've got enough information. Now we can kind of more accurately target what needs to be adjusted. Because I mean,
I think they should have done like a quick change a little sooner. Once they noticed that he had like I think where's the hot slog stats say he's got like an 84% popularity rate with almost a 59% win rate. The next closest is 54 with Cassia. I mean, with stats that high, I would think after a week you'd say, okay, like let's just throw like the obvious nerf in, like maybe just throw the ace in the hole in there and just to stop the bleeding, like put a band-aid on it until you sort out the rest of the details. But I feel like with a lot of heroes, like there's always some obvious nerfs you can make that are like fix most of the problem. Obviously, there's the smaller ones that you want to get for like pure balance. But I mean, I would like to see them like maybe do it in 2 patches next time. Be like, all right, this is the obvious nerf. Like take this for now, so it stops the bleeding a little bit. So we're not just gonna like sit here and let it happen for 2 weeks, and then we'll introduce all the other like more minor changes when we figure them out. Like we're still going through numbers. I think that'd be like a better way to approach it, especially when there is something like obvious, like level 1 executioner with 30% extra damage all game, and he's just shredding through people.
Yeah.
I like Jimmy a lot. I did not actually, in a way, I did not want him to be nerfed, and let me tell you why. Jimmy is easy to play. I will say that. It's if you're good mechanically, you're going to be good at Jimmy, and what Jimmy does is he exposes bad positioning on enemy teams, because you can no longer just walk up to Jimmy and hope that you're going to kill him. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? He's gonna stutter step. He's gonna hopefully dodge. You know, he's gonna like do his crazy stutter steps and like dodge your skill shots, and then he's gonna just auto attack you in your face, and then he's gonna Q you so that you're slow. You can't escape. You think oh, you realize, oh my god, I shouldn't have walked up to him, and then oh, you're Q and you're slowed. So it's like the good thing about that is it exposes your bad positioning. So I think, oh, I can kill Jimmy. I go in, and like people are mad that they can't just kill him anymore, you know, and it exposes stuff, and people don't like to see criticism of their own play.
Exposed.
I'll be completely honest, man. Like I feel like Jimmy is not that. Like I don't think that. I think that the reason why he's so popular and why he's winning a lot is because he's easier to play and he exposes things, and that compounds over time. So throughout a whole game, basically, you're gonna feel bad, and people don't like to feel bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't want to feel bad. It feels bad.
Dude, I was just like wrecking people because they would walk up to me. They don't realize, oh, I actually have to take Jimmy Raynor seriously now.
Yeah, and also the additional range with Raynor, like people aren't used to it. I mean, the only people attacking you from that far are like a Chromie, Raynor, and then Zul'jin like post quest. I mean, I guess kind of Phoenix with his W, but then again, Phoenix's win rate's super high too. For that exact same reason, like that additional range really throws people off. Like they'll step in and be like, "Oh shit! Like I can't be up this far. I could be hit by this hero," because it's like just a little bit longer than normal, and like you'll take a lot of poke downs. I know I have a bunch of times, like when I'm not used to seeing it, and like now that Phoenix is out there and like Chromie's played so much, and now Raynor, I'm like watching my positioning and staying farther back a lot more. And Hanzo kind of, because Hanzo had a pretty long range for a while, in addition with this Q being so long. Like we're definitely introducing a lot of heroes that can hit from far away, and like you said, it punishes positioning hard. You step up a little too far where you're not ready to engage, and with like Raynor, Chromie, Hanzo, Phoenix, like, they're all characters that hurt a lot very quickly.
Yeah.
And all
But
of a
this
sudden
is
you're
this
half
is the
dead.
thing that baffles my mind is that Phoenix has been one. He's been doing stuff that people are mad at Jimmy for. He's been doing that stuff forever. He capitalizes on slows and does extra damage, and has an ultimate that does more damage to people that are slowed. And people aren't complaining about Phoenix. People weren't complaining not as much about Phoenix as they were with Raynor. You know what I mean? And he does kind of the same thing.
And Phoenix has no mana, has a shield. But anyway,
And has a teleport escape.
Yeah, it's just
Raynor
because his
doesn't
win
even
rate
have that.
His win rate's lower. Phoenix definitely puts out damage a lot faster.
Phoenix puts out guys.
Or no, sorry, Raynor puts out damage a lot faster. Definitely.
Yeah.
Phoenix can like in burst if you like stack up your arsenal synergy. Like you have a lot of basic attack damage, or not the arsenal. What's the quest level 1? Combat advantage. No, combat advantage is 7.
I don't remember what it's called.
I don't remember what it's called.
Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, the advanced targeting. That's it. Just like using that, like you can burst people down with just like Q and combat advantage at 7 for those slows. I mean, Phoenix has that type of damage, but Raynor's mostly just like that inspire auto attack burst. It's just so quick and so easy to execute.
Yeah, actually, that's
if
true.
You want to execute if you want to execute Phoenix's damage that he capitalizes off of, you have to hit that Q, which is such an awkward skill shot. Like people aren't used to hitting something that looks like that. For Raynor, it's just like walking up and clicking W. So it's like, I don't know, just the ease of execution there. And like how consistently you can do it versus saying like, okay, like even like a great Phoenix is gonna mess that up once in a while. Like you're really never gonna see that Raynor mess up in the same ways. Yeah. It allows his win rate to be so much higher.
But at the same, okay, just real
let's
quick.
Let's move on. We got a lot of patch.
I'm so tilted. You know what? There's a lot of Jimmy haters out there. All right, Jimmy's my boy. Get off my boy.
We got a lot of patch notes to cover, guys. All right. Speaking of people gonna be mad, Tracer, another nerf. Basic attack damage reduced from 27 to 26, and now Quantum Spike. Damage reduced from 8% to 7% of the target's maximum health. Dude, they might as well just delete her from the game at this point. Like, I mean, what?
They're nerfing her a lot.
I mean, I think she's still gonna be okay. It's just
they do this all the time. I feel like they nerf her, and she'll sit like that for like 3 or 4 months, and then you'll see a patch where they'll like tweak a bunch of her abilities a little bit, lower some cooldowns.
7.5. Yeah, and then she comes back up, and
and then she'll be really good only in HGC for a little bit again, and then you'll have a few people pick her up along the way and like make their resurrection back into hot tier league for a few weeks until they nerf her again, and then those people disappear for a few more months along with Tracer.
Mockery is a one-trick Tracer. He's also like a bunch of barcodes. That's right. I'm leaking you. I'm leaking you.
Oh snap! Oh snap!
Nah, he's a Tracer one trick, and it's like, damn. Okay, you're good. You're a good Tracer. But how much of that is you being good and Tracer just being broken?
I mean,
I'm just kidding, dude. I love you, Mockery.
I mean, let's be real though, right? I mean, it's hard to fix someone that their design is inherently flawed. You have these super hyper mobile heroes that come from a game that doesn't even relate to this genre at all.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make it work, which is fine, but it's like, damn, that's going to be hard to fix. Like, that's going to be hard to balance. You're going to have 3 charges of dashing and then recall back and you're fine. I mean, that's hard to balance. How do you fix that? I have no idea. Without removing them.
By lowering the damage by 1% and her auto attack by 1 point. That's how you balance her right there. She is
so far
perfectly balanced right now.
I mean, so far they've literally done these, like we just talked about, these little minor fixes, right? Like, oh, we'll lower this a little bit, we'll lower that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they've also tried incorporating heroes that are anti-mobile heroes. But I don't think it's just really hard. I feel like it's still not enough.
I mean, not every game is going to have its perfect balance, right? There's always going to be something. But anyways, let's go on to Asmodee, because he got a bunch of changes here. I really don't want to go into all the changes specifically. However, they increased the amount of how useful he is against PvE, against minions and stuff like that. I felt like it was a little too weak before. But yeah, what do we think about these changes? I mean, he's just gonna get played even more. He was already being played a lot because he got changed recently, and now he's gonna be even stronger.
I mean, there's some nerfs in a few places. There are also like quite a few buffs in some places. I think overall, it's a buff. I don't like the buff to demonic invasion. I don't want somebody picking that in my game.
Exactly. I completely agree. I mean,
I'm kind of mad they buffed that because like that play style just feeds bad images into my head of what my teammates want to do with that.
You know what I saw today on a stream, and I'm not going to say who it was. They were literally running it down, suiciding keeps. Just running in, demonic evasion, globe the keep, send your little warrior and laser it, and it's a 4v5 the whole game because your Asmodean is always just doing that the whole game and dying.
Toxic, dude.
It promotes a toxic playstyle that people do not want to play with.
Yeah.
No one wants to play with or against that. That's not fun.
LTA saying Procraft. Smiley face.
No, it's actually not. I didn't see him doing it. He could have been doing it, but I didn't see him doing it. It wasn't him. It was someone else. I'm not gonna keep him up into that. But yeah, I don't like that playstyle at all. Not cool.
I don't. Other than that change, I like all the other ones. I think like the tweaks in certain areas where they're not just straight buffing him. They're saying like, okay, we're increasing his damage, but we're reducing the scaling so that he's a little bit more useful in the early game and a little bit like less super impactful in the late game. Because I know like late game Asmos were really like hurting me as much, like way too much. But early game Asmo was like useless. He was kind of just there. He existed. I like how they're saying, okay, we're making him a little bit better in the early game, changing his scaling a little bit down for the late game, making him a little bit harder to get those stacks by like reducing the duration that you can get him and things like that. Making him feel more useful overall in the game. I think it's gonna like promote a healthier play style with them and like actually having to like try and land your stacks and do things properly and making it a little easier and just hoping for your best in the late game, kind of like you play in the Zebo. Just stack up and pray the game lasts a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel like the build changes? Because I feel like it's still the same. I don't feel like
I think
the
it's
build
the
actually
same.
changes.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, same here.
Wow. Murky. Man, this guy just keeps coming back. He just keeps coming back. Dude. I mean, I guess that's what he's good at. He just keeps coming back. Level 13 Fish Tank has a new functionality. Murky is healed for 25% of all damage he deals with basic attacks and basic abilities. Before, he used to get 75% physical armor when he was auto-attacking. That talent was so annoying because, like, you could literally just break a game because you took that talent because you were up against a team that had drafted a certain play style. I do not like this change only because that means it's going to encourage people to play Murky more often.
Do you think so?
Because just to test it out for a little bit and then they go away.
Oh. Well, yeah, but I mean that's fine though.
Nah.
It's like more suffering now for less suffering later. I'll take it. I accept that. That's fine.
But don't draft Murky ever, please.
I don't want to play with Murky, man. It's not fun.
Like, okay, like every once in a while you get lucky and you get that guy that's just like a Murky god. However, too many people think they're Murky gods and just end up feeding. So
true. I have played with good Murkies before, so I won't say he's like. It's not like you can't win with them. If you have a Murky that knows what they're doing, it's really nice. But
and in the right place. Don't just pick it in every draft and be like draft around it and hope this goes for the best. That's what I hate. Don't be the player who's like, I'm really good at this one hero, and then just pick it every time because you know you're good at it, because sometimes your teammates aren't going to draft around that. Pick it where it's good. If you can't play it at all, it doesn't mean I don't like the hero. I'm not telling you not to play a hero because I don't like it. Just pick it in the right spot. Same thing with the Murky. If a Murky goes, pick it, do it up. Win the game. Carry me with Murky. I want it.
all right, next change, and this one is spicy.
oh,
Sergeant Hammer's blunt force gun no longer deals damage to enemy structures.
bless RNG.
So I've been playing a lot of ARAM lately, and I get so mad. Even when there's a hammer on my team, when they just pick and they just say play for 20 and we'll win. Like, are we playing? Like, I want to have fun. I just want to duke it out. I want to brawl. I'm not trying. I don't want to try hard in this. People have developed an ARAM. People will fly out of their. They will pick Genji just to take the well and then feed all game. Seriously, I played against a Medivh. Was it with you? With the Medivh? We were playing against a Medivh or something?
I don't. Yeah, that was us. Yeah.
And he just like flew over and literally fed just to get our well. This guy never finished his stacks until the very near the end of the game when there was no more well to take. Like, I don't like the era. Anyways, No more BFG.
Well,
in our quick
ARAMs are
match.
ARAMs, but it was breaking ARAMs, right? Because level 20, there's no regeneration on shields in ARAM.
Yeah. It was,
So that's kind of busted.
yeah.
But it's also just busted in general.
You can't play around it. You're just sitting there like, well, I guess the game's gonna end soon because I've got this. He's gonna take all my keeps, and then that's gonna be it. And then he's gonna start clearing waves with it. And just keep a wave pushed. You know, with the catapults going down that lane because he keeps killing my minions with the blunt force gun.
Yeah, it was like, oh, we've been winning all game. I have all my forts and all my keeps up. But we hit level 20, so now he's gonna send it down one lane and we lose.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like how it felt.
It created a toxic play style as well. Like, what is with specialists in creating toxic play styles? I guess that's why they're
I
specialists.
wonder why they're phasing out specialists.
I mean, Abathur is the most competitive specialist right now, and he is super toxic with those nests, but also just the way he works with whatever. Anyways, cool. Moving on. We all agree Sergeant Hammer nerf feels good, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Deckard Cain got a little nerf. His healing potion was reduced from 230 to 219. Ancient blessings, the damage reduced from 72 to 68, and the healing reduced from 106 to 100. The problem with ancient blessings that I have is it's a really good talent at that tier. I think that talent should compete with like Scroll of Stone Curse at level 16, rather than being on its own tier, because now he gets both Ancient Blessings and Scroll of Stone Curse. It's really strong.
What would you move then? Let me look at Deckard real quick. So what would you move from 13, and what would you switch with us from 16?
What is it? Safety in numbers, maybe? I think.
I think that's good. I think that's actually pretty good. Yeah, because all these other ones are kind of survivability too.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, what kind of potion changes do you want to have, or do you want the safety in numbers at 13? I think that'd be a good change actually.
Yeah. So then you're because there's also a stun, I think, on 16.
Yeah, it's the staff stun or the Scroll of Stone Curse.
Yeah. So and like there's more damage and utility.
Yeah.
So that should be at 16, honestly. But
I think that's a good change.
yeah,
You're a Deckard main. You have like an 80% win rate with him now or something?
Pretty insane. I'm like 12-3 or something like that with him in here. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
He's good.
he's a good hero. I get a lot of value with him. Malfurion. He's got a new talent at level 1 called Rejuvenation. Malfurion gains 5 HP per second for every active regrowth. Right now it's bugged that healing is not scaling. Ice Block was removed, and they moved Nature Swiftness from level 1 to level 13, and then they increased the movement speed from 4 to 6%. That's now his survivability talent. No longer will Malfurion be a generalist support. Before you could take Malfurion against dive because you had Twilight Dream and Ice Block to kind of buy yourself some time. Now you kind of have to just run away Twilight Dream and hope you had enough regrowths on somebody to be able to run away. I think now he's going to be really good against soft poke comps. Maybe obviously not against a Chromie, but like if there's like a Junkrat on the enemy team, or they're playing around a Sergeant Hammer or something like that, something with like some soft poke that isn't going to dive Malfurion, I think he's going to be really strong in there. But I don't know. What do you guys think of these changes?
I don't like taking Ice Block away.
Yeah. Remember when they took cleanse away, the hard cleanse away? Like,
Yeah.
this is what that feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Ice Block. Like, I like Cleanse. Like, I feel like those are those abilities that like really make the difference between like a good support and a great support. Like when you see a support Ice Block like a Dragon's Arrow from a mile away, you're like, wow, like let's get it. Nice job. Like those are like those plays where you're watching out for. Taking that away, I think, just removes a lot of the playmaking ability from support players, or at least a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
And then it allows more cancer like Chromie, because now I never have to be afraid picking Chromie into mouth, because I can temp loop you all day.
He's got to play super back. Super back. Feels bad. I was not finding a lot of success with Malfurion in Hero. He is my worst support right now. I think I only have like 3 wins and like 9 losses with him.
But this was before this, right?
Yeah, this was before this. So like now I'm probably definitely not gonna pick him. I was having a hard time sustaining people anyways because they see that green bar and think I'm getting healed for that much. It's like yes and no. If you're taking damage, it's going away. I'm trying to burst you, you know. So
yes and no.
like I don't know. Decker, like I feel like Decker Kane, I can set up more, deal more damage. Like Malfurion, I feel is really good in games where people understand what you're doing with him. You're setting up picks and things like that. But yeah, anyways.
I'm not a support main, but I don't think he's dead. I just think you can't first pick him anymore.
Yeah. Artanis got a lot of changes. New functionalities, adjusted functionalities, new talents, and things like that. There's a lot of stuff here. We're already like deep in this. I'm just gonna say, I just want to ask you guys overall, what do you think about the patches or the changes here?
I like it. I think he's gonna be a bit more competitive. I think each of the talents and like little tweaks on, especially like his level like 16 talent tier. I like them putting his level 20 Force of Will talent into the level 16 tier. I feel like that's such a big buff, and like now opening up level 20 to other things is awesome.
Yeah.
Be careful for some Artanis. I think he's coming. I think he's good. I like the changes. I like them adding another soul laner back into the mix because he can do so many other things in the team fights and skirmishes.
What about you, Sam?
Yeah, I there was this one. I'm not sure if it changed or not. You know, this is probably the one I'm least familiar with because I just don't play Artanis. Never really have. But there was one talent that said like, you get spell armor for every time your overload goes off. You get it for 5 seconds after that or something like that.
Phase Bulwark at level 13, while Artanis has shield. While you have the shields from
There
shield
it is,
overload, you got 50 spell armor, and then it lasts for 2 seconds after that.
So that's my favorite change.
Insane.
That's my favorite change of this whole thing because he gets so much more survivability from that.
That is a strong talent.
Yeah, that's really, really strong. That's my favorite part of it. I think it's a good overall. I think there's like the Titan Killer adjustments as well. I really like that. That you're not just getting, you don't just like, I like that they're changing it overall from just, you get value only when your Twin Blades goes off. Like that idea is good. I don't want to always just have to rely on my W to get value.
Yeah.
And that's what that change was.
I like now because like he was fairly one-dimensional. You punch things, you stay alive, you're annoying. You get a swap. Now it's like, okay, you can get a swap, you can survive, you can be more survivable, you can stay in the fight longer. I don't know if he's gonna be like incredible. However, this does make him a lot better to play in the current state of the game. There's a lot of damage. There's a lot of incidental damage, random damage. There's a lot of random CC. Like he's going to feel better to play in this environment that we have. So cool.
Yep.
Blaze, his hero radius was increased. He gained a little weight. I'm surprised he was already so like his model was so small.
Yeah, true.
I like Kel'Thas had a bigger model than him.
Yeah.
This change is big though. This change is huge.
That needs to be bigger in my opinion. But
No, well, not only that, but I mean the level 1 change is huge.
oh
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Hang on, real quick. If his model is bigger, it makes his easier to hit, right? I think.
Well, there's that, and he could body
Yeah.
block better.
He can body block better, yeah.
That's kind of a buff in a way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Level 1, yeah. As Soken was saying, this change is significant. Neural Stim Pack now only reduces the cooldown of basic abilities. So before, it reduced the cooldown of every ability, your trait, your heroic, everything. So you could have bunker up even faster. You can have your trait up even faster. You can be putting out more damage, more CC even faster. Now it's just basic abilities. I don't understand why it affected anything else to begin with. I always felt that was an unfair power buff, or power to have. But basic abilities. Now you get your charges faster, you get your Qs and your Ws faster. This change right here. We're still going to see a lot of Blaze. We're still going to see Blaze because he's good at what he does. We're also going to see Blaze get punished a lot as well. A lot more. So. Alright. Cho Gall. Cho. Big nerf. Level 16, yes. Surging Dash. That was a Q talent. You no longer get unstoppable for 18 seconds as you're channeling that thing.
Yep.
I like it.
Took long enough to nerf that. Took forever.
I love that talent. I hate playing against. I like now it's people can actually play in Team League and win against Cho'Gall. Diablo Lightning Breath. The slow amount per tick was reduced from 5 to 4%, and then the maximum slow was reduced from 50 to 40. Okay.
Makes sense. Pretty impressive.
I liked it. Yeah.
Urel, Ardent Defender. The cooldown was increased from 100 to 120 seconds. Her healing was reduced from her level 1 Maraud's Insight from 148 to 128. Hand of Freedom, that's the slow and root removal, but also the 30% movement speed gain on allies. The cooldown was reduced from 30 to 22. I like this a lot.
Me too.
Divine Steed, the movement speed bonus was reduced from 80 to 60%. I like this as well. No more quick rotations out of a lane, or as quick of a rotation, or to be able to run somebody down as easy or whatever. Templar's Verdict, that's the W talent that reduces the armor on people that you hit. Now also deals 4% of enemy heroes maximum health as damage. And then Holy Wrath, which was the auto attack talent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the AoE damage.
Yeah,
one.
the damage bonus was reduced from 30 to 20%. I like these changes. I like the Hand of Freedom a lot. She's really hard to kill right now. Ardent Defender, I don't think needed to be a 2-minute cooldown. I think that could have stayed at 100 because I find more and more people are not like, you'll pop Ardent Defender and everyone just stops hitting you.
Yeah, it's so true.
Like, okay, all right. I think now we're gonna start seeing the arena even more.
Well, I think that was their goal. I don't think the goal was to necessarily make this worse, but just to make other people make people choose the other one more. I think that was the reason.
So like, I'm trying to think, when would you go Ardent? Maybe when Gul'dan gets a nice, awesome corruption, you can like eat that damage back up. Maybe it gets a Planet Cracker if the guy isn't paying attention. You can like soak that damage up. But he can turn it off and can't like just negate that.
In my opinion, the biggest benefit of Ardent Defender has never been just to like bait people into healing you or something. It's been, if you want to dive a keep, you dive with Urel first, pop Ardent Defender, and then you're tanking damage and healing up and chasing, and the rest of your team is chasing under the keep, and you're fine for a little bit. Like if you need to get that kill. That's kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah. Healthy changes. We'll see what ends up happening. But overall, like Soken said, this is a very cool patch. Very interesting patch. A lot of discussion, a lot of new things to try out. I like it. I rated a 6.5 out of 10.
Hey, I think they raised it to 8 or something. I think they actually changed it.
I know, but that will forever just be the meme.
Yeah, true. Hold on, is there a 6.5 emote?
Bug fix. They fixed the AI from just always trying to hearth all the time as well. That's a big one.
Oof.
Yep. And yeah, some other bug fixes in there, but yeah, cool. Right on. That was a long thick patch. That's what that was. All right, so let's move on to our last couple segments here. Let's move on to gaining some insight.
My mind is clear.
All right, so I was thinking everybody everybody thinks about the game differently. Everybody sees different things in the game differently. They prioritize different things differently, and a lot of this comes from being with competitive teams, both amateur and professional. People like certain things over others, whatever. So my question for everyone here and for everyone else out there is, what's your favorite aspect of the game, or your favorite aspect regarding the game, and why? And why do you prioritize this aspect? And when I mean the aspect, I mean like, okay, do you like the draft the most? Do you enjoy the macro the most? Team fighting, solo laning, supporting, whatever aspect that encompasses the game. Why do you like? What's your favorite, and why do you like it so much? We'll start with you, Soken.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a few. Should I just say one, or
say one? Your one favorite.
All right. Probably my one favorite thing about the whole game is just the mechanical skill involved. Like, my favorite heroes tend to be more mechanically demanding heroes, like Dahaka. Well, the ones I play in Hero League and whatnot, like Dahaka. Like a lot of auto attack heroes that require precision. Like when you're actually clicking on stuff, because I don't have the whole attack when near cursor type thing going, so I pretty much have to click on the hero, and things where you can yourself outplay your enemy just based on your own skill. That's very it's very appealing to me.
Right on.
Do I prioritize it, or why do I prioritize it?
Yeah. So like you said, you like that aspect, like you like to be able to outplay your opponent. So you feel like when you're playing the game, it's important. Probably one of the most important aspects of the game is being able to outplay your opponent.
Yeah, I would say that's probably a good way of putting it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you, Armus?
I like the macro play the most. Like, just the whole decision-making process of like all the other options you have in every game and every situation, and like what you decide to do, when you decide to do it, and how you decide to do it. I feel like that just has the biggest impact on the game. Like, that's what evolves the meta. Like, somebody makes a decision on taking a camp a little bit faster and using that to push a lane, or finding a different method for split push, or just a build you can go to just do something different in the game. And all of a sudden the meta changes completely, and people are picking different heroes to counter it, or different heroes to play better with it. Like, a lot of times somebody's small decision in the game really has a big impact, and I like just how those decisions formulate, how they're made, and like what kind of impact each one has. It's definitely my favorite part to like kind of watch from the sides and be like, okay, like this person or like this team is doing something different, or like playing the early game different, and then watching like the meta evolve around that. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah. Right on. For me, I think I enjoy my favorite aspect. Man, it's tough.
It's hard. There's a lot of good things about this game.
It's either between draft or team fighting. Team fighting. I enjoy the team fighting aspect the most, because I feel like that's where I have the most fun with my friends or whoever it is I'm playing with. You have your draft set up, you're ready to go, and now we get to see what the draft does in the team fight and how we execute that, and what I can do in the team fight to help manipulate the outcome of the team fight. Team fighting is very important, being able to understand when to team fight, how to team fight, what abilities to use during the team fight to ensure victory, to get an advantage elsewhere. I prioritize that aspect because it's the most fun for me. Now, I know we can't be team fighting in the lane all the time, and I get tilted when my Hero League teammates do that, because I do recognize the importance of everything else, but it's still my favorite, and it's what got me into the game. So
LDAP brings up a good point. Two also other good things, just to kind of throw this in there. Map diversity, I think obviously that's something that makes HOTS unique, among MOBAs, is the map diversity, so that you can do different things on different maps. And then also the catch-up mechanic, so that it's not like Dota or League where you just feed your main and then you're just The other team is just behind forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Comeback mechanic, baby.
Yeah. It's never over, baby. It's never over till the core is dead.
Yo, how many times did I say that on my stream this week? Where I was like,
so many times.
I was
So
like,
many
this game
times.
isn't over yet, and you know what? I'm gonna keep playing like I would. Yeah, it looks very dire, but the only way I remember the Alterac pass game. The only way we win this fight is if we just like get this crazy fight and just run it down the lane, and they keep feeding. Dude, 2 minutes later, that is exactly what happened, and we like lost all our keeps and everything. That is exactly what happened. We ran it down bottom lane and won the game. So the comeback mechanic is real, both in the game and in the player's hands. So
Yep.
cool. All right.
Never give up.
And if for anybody that's listening, watching, whatever, leave a comment. Let us know what your favorite aspect is. And sometimes you'll find that someone's favorite aspect or what they find is the most important. Okay, it's not yours, but when they explain why, hey, that's actually a good idea. How can we bring all of these aspects together to find success in the game, to make our experiences better, and how to find, like I just said, wins and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right, moving on to our final segment here, the Trolls Challenge.
Get good or get wrecked.
All right, so last time, Soken challenged everybody for 1 day's worth of games, at least 5 games, to one trick a hero in quick match, or whatever other game mode, doesn't matter. One trick a hero that you're not very good with, disregarding the nature of quick match. What did you learn about the strengths of the hero, the weaknesses? What do you need to work on to play that hero well? And did you find the hero fun? And will you keep playing that hero? Soken, tell us about your experience.
Dude, I have just been one tricking the hell out of Illidan, man.
Oh, God.
I have just been. I played this. I said this last week too, but I think at that point I had only played maybe 5-ish games, and then between then and now I've played something close to like 25 games of Illidan. Just straight Illidan, just macro play, just diving, feeding insanity. I love it, dude. It's so much fun. I love Illidan.
What is he weak? What is he weak? Or where is he weak? Where do you find his strength? And
He's the advantage. One of the strengths that he has, and it's an advantage that a lot of the new heroes bring as well, is the mobility. If you know how to control Illidan by stutter stepping and getting your auto attacks off, you're refreshing your abilities, and then you can just jump around and kind of dodge things they're trying to do to you. And then they can't catch you sometimes, and you're just like kind of this annoying like fly in the backline, kind of like Genji. His weakness is that he doesn't have a protection like Genji, so he gets blown up pretty easily. You can dodge auto attack or evade auto attacks with your E, but not until level 16 do you get the protection from the spell armor as well with the evasion, if that's the way you go. So you can kind of get just blown up if they focus you. It's not really that hard. Which is why, honestly, I think he's pretty balanced. I think that he's actually balanced in that aspect, that if you're an Illidan and you just jump in, you could just die. which is good.
Yeah.
You need to know when to go in, you need to know what you're doing, and I think that's why I found success on the Illidan in my games, is that I play the macro game with him, and then I can hunt in whenever I want. So that's kind of how I've been playing it.
are you gonna keep playing him? Are you gonna take him into
I
Hero
am.
games and stuff?
I don't know about Hero League just because, I'd have to be last pick. It would have to be there'd have to be a good reason, and what I feel like, like a big map or something where I need to macro play that. But at that point, I might just play Dahaka if he's, So it's kind of like a substitute Dahaka, I think, at this point for me.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Armus?
I ended up playing a lot of Medivh in my lessons this week. I don't know why. I just decided, like, hey, let's just play Medivh for fun. I haven't really touched him in a while, like, since his, like, rework and everything. I used to play him a lot before that. I know Soken and you know. It was pretty interesting getting back on him, just kind of, like, seeing where he's good now, where I was succeeding, where I wasn't, how much damage I could put out as Medivh still. Like, if you're just spamming those abilities, I think his damage increased so much since that rework. A while back. I really like the spot he's at. I think he's strong against a lot of melees. He's super strong against a lot of like burst or blow up, especially like this hyper carry type compositions that we have now. We'll have like a few sustained damage dealers like Raynor, and then like the occasional like tracer that comes in to burst somebody, and you could just negate that tracer damage and destroy Raynor with your Qs. I think it's really nice. I think he's really got a spot in the meta. Like, I want to see more people play him and learn to work with him. He's still really fascinating, and like the plays you can make and things you can do with them. I don't think we've really touched on how far you can take that hero.
Kyle K spamming him in Hero League, so
yeah.
Right on. I played Decker Kane. I one-tricked Decker Kane. I played him a lot when he first came out, like quick match and stuff like that, unranked, and maybe some Hero League games. Then I put him away. And then this season, I finally went back to him and just played him nonstop. I felt like I was weaker on him after not playing him anymore. I played him a lot in Hero League. Best win rate right now by far. Most wins, like, it's insane. But I learned that he's really good at just punishing enemy positioning. There's a lot of that in Hero League. Setting up a lot of kills for my team. Saving my team from a lot of stuff, from a lot of damage. And just his healing was not bad, you know. I can debate people, I can Ancient Blessings, I can, you know, whatever. I can even chunk people out and even get kills of my own with Scroll of Stone Curse. That's what I like. Weaknesses, if your team doesn't understand that, like, at some point you have to fight and you have to kill something and you have to, like, go in. Hang on, my girlfriend's yelling at my dog. he must have, like, snuck in the trash. If they don't go in, you're just gonna sit there forever and run out of mana and not be able to do anything. Your teammates are gonna die. Also, people do not look for potions a lot of the time. Even in Master, they don't look. They just won't look. They will. I will throw a potion. They will literally, like, they're running away from someone. I will throw a potion so they run into it, and they will literally just, like, walk around it. That happens.
That's always been his biggest weakness, just overall, is that players can't play around that idea sometimes.
Do I find the hero fun? I do. I think it's fun to just outplay people and, like, control them and set up stuff. I think that's fun. And will I keep playing that hero? I probably will. Even with these nerfs, I will continue to keep playing him. So, but cool. All right. And for this week, I got a new challenge for everybody here. Play one of the heroes from this patch and then come up with a build or a play style that you feel is the best, and then we'll go over your build and play style in the next show. For anybody else as well, anyone that's listening, watching, whatever, do the same. You can put a Heroes Hearth build page or here, whatever you want. Put a little description in there, and we'll pick one and go over that person's thing on the show next week. So I look forward to that. All right, with that being said, guys, that is our show for this evening. Thank you, everyone in chat, for hanging out. Thank you, everybody, for watching, for listening, wherever you are. We appreciate all the support just from listening. If you like the show, again, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/trollsgg. Donate if you like. If not, at least share the show with somebody that you think might enjoy it. We just chill here, casual, talking about Here's the Storm and all kinds of stuff, as well as just hanging out. They can come and hang out as well. And yeah, so again, our show takes place every Thursday evening, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That being said, Armus, where can people find you if it's not here?
You could find me at Armus_GG_Armus on Twitter. You could find me on Discord at Armus_GG. You could find me on Gamer Sensei if you're interested in coaching or anything of the like. I do individual and team. I'll post a link in the chat again for anybody that's interested in that. Feel free to contact me. If anybody has any questions about the game, wants some help, more insight outside of, like, what you're hearing here on the podcast, feel free to always reach out. I mean, I'm always open to talk about the game. I love it. I love being here. So always, like, reach out with questions. If you ever want to, like, play games, I'm usually around. Like, go for it. I'm a pretty chill guy.
Right on, right on. Soken, where can people find you?
I am on Twitter at Soken, GLHF. That's Soken GLHF. At me with your finest memes. Thank you. And I'm also on Twitch. I haven't been streaming just because I'm sorry, but I've had a lot of personal issues in the last week that I just can't overcome. In fact, I have internet company coming to my house today, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I stream on Twitch at Soken, Soken Gaming. So I will hopefully be doing a revamp with a bunch of new art assets and stuff coming pretty soon here. It's probably like 90% complete at this point, so that'll be pretty cool when I get to stream with all that stuff, all the new overlays and whatnot. So check it out when I'll tweet it out when it's live.
Right on. You guys can find me on Twitter at GOONHOTS, on Twitch, twitch.tv/GOONHOTS, on YouTube, look up GOONHOTS. You might have to do GOONHOTS Here's the Storm or something like that. Because like some weird stuff comes up sometimes. I'm like, all right, whatever. You can also find me on Trollin' HGC Tuesdays, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, where we talk about all things Here's the Storm esports. Also be on the lookout for No Tomorrow, Team No Tomorrow, and the HGC. We'll be making it, baby. And yeah. What else? I feel like I'm missing something else. Oh, during the weekends, HGC and Chill, a podcast hangout stream that I do with whoever I decide to bring on that week. We just watch the Here's the Storm games for as long as we want. We will watch them. We'll talk about them sometimes, but most of the time we are literally just talking about anything. Last week I had Bags on. We talked about books and we talked about board games. And I think, yeah, that was like a majority of the conversation and just like outdoor stuff. So if that's something that you like, something that you're interested in, check it out. Follow my Twitter. You'll know when I go live. If not, you can always watch the VOD on the YouTube or on Twitch as well. All the VODs do go up. So yeah, right on. Cool. Again, thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy the show, you can support us in a variety of ways. We're on Patreon at patreon.com/trollsgg. Thank you to our chieftains, Preston and Slugger, and our war chiefs, William and Super Dave. Subscribe to our show on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you happen to find your podcast online. And you can visit our website at trolls.gg/TheNexusTrolls. That's for the actual Nexus Trolls page. If you go to trolls.gg, you can see all the content there. You can watch this and past shows along with past video streams, which can also be found on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C/TrollsGG. For announcements about the show or any questions or anything like that, sometimes I post a meme up there. You can follow us on Twitter at TheNexusTrolls. If you want to hang out with us in the Trolls community, you can join TrollsGG in game or join our Discord channel, trolls.gg/Discord. Join the Discord. You'll see some conversation going on in there. I'll post a Gaining Insight question after the show. People will post their responses in there as well as HGC stuff in there. Make sure when you join, just little bot commands to get you into certain roles, and it's pretty easy. Just join a Discord. You'll get the hang of it. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so also by email. TheNexusTrolls@trolls.gg. Right on. Cool. Guys, Soken, Armus, again, as always, thanks for hanging out. It's always nice to catch up with you guys. This is like our weekly reunion to kind of talk about things and whatnot. we do chat throughout the week, but this is like the only time we get to like really talk. So it's nice. Chat, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the memes. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you, guys.
Love you, chat.
Listeners, viewers out there, appreciate you as well. Until next time, have a good one.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show. Catch you around, everybody.
All right, guys, take it easy. Peace out.
See you guys.